Hi guys, Dance Deja here, and today we will discuss forward rolls. This is a beginner skill that can be challenging, so this video will break down everything you need to know to understand the skill. What is a forward roll? The forward roll is a gymnastics skill in which the gymnast crouches down in a tuck position and performs a roll in a forward direction. This is sometimes called a somersault. How do you perform a gymnastics forward roll? Commonly, one performs a forward roll by standing with your feet together or hip-width apart. Reach your arms up, reach your arms down, bend your knees, tuck your chin, roll forward, come to a gymnastics landing, and extend to stand in a gymnastics finish with your arms reaching high to the sky. What are common obstacles people face when learning a forward roll? There are two common obstacles I notice a lot of people struggle with. 1. Inverting. Forward rolls are an inverted skill, and some people struggle with inversions. An inverted skill or position is any position where your head is below your heart. For example, in yoga, child's pose is an inversion because your head is below your heart. Inversions and inverted skills or being upside down can be scary and intimidating because it can feel unnatural, and inversions produce a lot of physiological responses, a lot of stress, such as making your heart beat faster or making you sweat. So if you get nervous when you perform a forward roll or think about it, it's totally normal. So don't feel bad about it. We got some tips that are going to help you overcome your fears. Momentum. A lot of people get stuck when they practice forward rolls because they lose their momentum. A forward roll is a sequential skill. It is fast, continuous, and it will fail if the practitioner hesitates. A lot of the time I see new gymnasts crouch down and hesitate. They try to kick their legs over and it's uncomfortable to perform that way. When you lose momentum in starting your roll, usually one of two things happen. The practitioner will perform a donkey kick, which doesn't always work out because you might overcompensate or undercompensate the kick. When you overpower or underpower this skill, you lose control, and this leads to mistakes. Another common habit I see in athletes that lose momentum when they're trying to roll is they headstand. A lot of the times a student will crouch down, place their head on the ground, and wobble back and forth on their head trying to find a comfortable position to roll over and trying to find the confidence, but I do not recommend you try this technique. It's very important your forward roll has a smooth sequential quality to avoid common mistakes that we will talk about next. Common mistakes. Common mistakes include forward rolls that lack sequential execution, thumping or smacking your back on the ground, overloading weight onto one part of your spine when you try to roll, diving over kicking, looking to the sides before you roll, and over tucking your chin or under tucking your chin. These are the most common mistakes I frequently see.
Hey guys, there was something I forgot to include when I did the voiceover, so I'm going to show you two more common mistakes that happen when we learn our forward rolls for the first time or we're teaching them. A common mistake that you might notice is students will often use their hands to try to push them up from a seated position. This is more common in younger students or students who don't have as developed abdominal muscles to help them stand. So there's some exercises to help with that, but first I'm going to demonstrate the mistake. It's not a major mistake, it's just going to be a progression that you want to teach out so that you can teach more independence and strength building challenging. So it's not a mistake that's gonna be terrible, but it is a sign of weakness and you need to develop strength. So here we go. Here we go. We go and we do our roll. We finish our roll. And then you see my hands are to my side. A lot of the times you'll see people, instead of keeping their arms up in front of them to stand up, they'll use their arms to push themselves up, like this. That's something we want to train out of. So an exercise that you can do to train out is to practice going from a rolling position and trying to stand up. And you can even have a partner in front so that someone can reach their arms out and practice lifting them up, helping them to develop that strength to go through that range of motion. So here's an example. We start up, we roll back, get some momentum, reach, 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 reach. Again, down, gain some momentum, reach, 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 reach. When I teach people about rolling back, I always teach them to roll to their shoulders. Don't roll on your neck, because that's not going to feel good, it's not going to be safe. So we roll to the top of our shoulders when we roll back. One more time, I'll demonstrate the mistake of using your hands to push up. What you'll want to notice, especially if you're a teacher, is if your student has the strength to do the forward roll without using the assisted hands, or if they don't have that strength yet and they're still needing to push through until they're able to build up more confidence with the skill. It's going to be something that you're going to have to discern, but be intelligent about your choices. Another very common mistake that we see, especially in young children, is when they do a forward roll, they like to finish in crisscross applesauce. I'm going to demonstrate it. Yes. One more time. We'll do it going the other direction. So I like, whenever I have a student that finishes in crisscross applesauce, normally just having a verbal cue and bringing awareness to the mistake, and then giving a verbal cue, reminding them as they're going through the motion, coaching them through it to help them work past that. And it's something that is usually that you're able to see someone overcome within 4 weeks to 6 months.
What are some tips to train your roll? Tip number 1 is to use a tool or training equipment to train your roll. A common piece of equipment used to train forward rolls is a wedge mat. It looks like a giant door stopper. Because it is on a downward slope, gravity and physics is on your side. The skill is easier to perform this way. Tip number 2, to use a spot, aka hands-on assistance. You can spot through a skill to help build confidence. It's easy to train younger and smaller students because you can heavy spot them. If you are spotting someone who's older or bigger, make sure that you are spotting correctly in the correct direction and that you, as the spotter, if you're spotting, are in the right place. Don't be afraid to overcoach or overinstruct, because if you get kicked or hurt in the process, it's really not a fun experience. If you are afraid of forward rolls and none of these tricks help, or if you have a student that is afraid of forward rolls and they won't even let you spot them because they are that afraid, I have some exercises that may help. 1. Train the tuck position. Practice going into a tuck position by squatting low. You can also practice holding your tuck position on your back. Tip number 2. Practice egg rolls. Your egg roll is a tucked roll to the side. This is a skill you can substitute for a forward roll if you have a student who is terrified to do the forward roll. Alright guys, that's all that I have for this video today. If you enjoyed it, I hope that you have some class, comment, like, and subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!